Alright, so this footage that you're looking at right now is Path of Exile. This was filmed before a huge nerf to the game where you could stack modifiers onto a memory, allowing you to massively farm. So that's what this footage is. The build's in the description if you want. Anyway, let's talk about World of Warcraft Classic Vanilla. Now, I want to tell you guys my vanilla story from start to end. I'm recording this all in one take, so you'll have to give me a minute. I have severe extreme heartburn. I'm doing OMAD, or 1 meal a day, and I just ate like 1,800 calories in meat, vegetables, and carbs. So please bear with me, dudes. All right, so let's get started on my vanilla adventure. Playing vanilla, as a child, like most of you. I did it in my adulthood. I won't tell you my age, but I was out of school. It was about the time I had been expelled, right? I was expelled. I'm not going to go into that today. And I decided to get a job. So I got a job working in retail. And I worked retail, you know, like for a little while, and at the time I was playing Diablo 2 mostly. I had also done RMT for RuneScape, and I was doing RMT for Diablo 2 as well. The RMT is real money trades. That's where you buy and sell goods on the internet for real money. And, you know, World of Warcraft was made by Blizzard, and hell, Diablo 2 was the best game ever. I'd been playing it for like 7 years straight. So I was really hyped. I liked Warcraft 3. I played the Frozen Throne. I played the shit out of that, and I had always wanted to play a game like World of Warcraft ever since I was a child. When I was a child, I read about, you know, like, this must have been 10 years before Final Fantasy XI ever came out. I was reading about it, and it was just mind-boggling that there's games out there where you can play with a massive amount, literally an infinite amount of people all in one area. And World of Warcraft got me hooked because of the PvP. Now, the reason I played Diablo 2 so damn much, besides the RMT, was I loved just killing people. I would join their bail run, which is you go into someone's game and you kill a boss for experience, and that's pretty much it. The air freshener went off. It's kind of strong. Anyway, so I would go in to their games, and I would commit hostility. That's where your player is now hostile to the other players in the game, and I can do damage to them, and I would just hunt them down. Most of the time, people would leave, or they would get fucking pissed. I got addicted to people getting pissed at me in video games. I would attack them, kill them, and when you die in Diablo 2, you drop some pile of gold, which doesn't really have any monetary value, and you could literally max out your gold in maybe like 10 minutes of playtime. It's not really a big deal. Gold doesn't fucking mean shit. But I would kill these players, and I would take their gold, and it was awesome. People got so pissed, and I just loved that about the game so much. So when I learned that World of Warcraft is going to be a game that you can just go out into an actual world, not into a game lobby, and find people and kill them, I was all in, man. I was so fucking hyped for that shit. So, I got into the alpha because I had pretty big ties with Blizzard at the time. I was a really big Diablo 2 player. I happened to hit rank 1, or I was the first level 99 character in Lord of Destruction Season 2 with an Amazon, and that was fucking awesome. And, you know, Blizzard got to know me over the time, especially because I posted on their forums so damn much. And so they were like, hey man, you can play the alpha, which I'm not going to talk much about the alpha. The alpha was it was really, really primitive. It was simple in a way. Like, I think nowadays, you know, a teenager with Unity and Unreal Engine 4 could make that shit. But anyway, so let's talk about vanilla. I go to a retail area where they are selling the game, and I wait in line. I'm like the 4th or 5th fucking person in line, and there's a lot of older people, like a lot of adults and normies and dudes with their girlfriends and stuff. And at the time, I was very blue-pilled. I was very beta. I was very I'll say incel. I mean, I wasn't always incel, but at that time, I didn't really have any connections, friends, or know people or anything much. I mean, I had some acquaintances, but that's really about it. And I waited in line, and I got the game, and I rushed home, I installed it, and it did take a while to install, right? I think like an hour or something, if I remember right. I get into the game, and there was some people on the Diablo US East trading forums that wanted me to play with them. And these guys I didn't know so damn much. They just kind of knew me as one of the, you know, big dick rich players of the game, so they invited me to play Alliance with them. Alright, this is mistake number 1. And I didn't really know what to play, but I knew Mage was good for farming. You could AoE farm, you could kill things from a range, you could teleport, and you can make free food, and that was like, hey, you know what? That sounds pretty good to me, you know, because I played Sorceress in Diablo 2. That was my main class. That was my main PvP ganker class, and I wanted to be a ganker and a PvPer. So I rolled Mage, an Alliance Mage. I made her female because, again, I'm a beta at the time, in Incel, you know, I really wanted, you know, just looking at the female character I'd created, she was so pretty, and it just made me feel all warm and fuzzy inside to play her, right? And I was like, aww. Maybe one day I'll have a wife that looks like her, right? Even though I made her a blonde, and blondes are disgusting, but we'll get into that in another video. So, what are we, like 6 minutes in? Yeah, so I roll a mage and I start leveling, and, you know, Alliance quests are pretty simple. I hang out with these dudes. They don't really talk to me much, but it turns out they have a very massive web of friends. These people that I barely knew on the Diablo 2 trading forums had so many friends, and it was so weird. It was very weird to me, like, to get in voice chat with these people. At the time it was like Ventrilo or TeamSpeak or something, and they were like much older than I thought. They were, you know, there were actual girls in the chat, and it was just so foreign to me because I was not a social person. I really still am not a social person. I can fake being a social person, and I didn't pick up that damn essence. What the fuck? Come on, go back and pick that shit up. Anyway, getting distracted by the footage here. The audio every 10 minutes because I don't want Audacity to fuck me over. Anyway, so I'm playing with him. I think I hit level 40-ish, and I'm leveling pretty damn fast. You know, I played the alpha. I knew what the fuck to do. I'm AOE grinding. There's no one around at my point yet. I think there's like one other character that's in like 45 or 46, and they were a hunter, right? But I was just AoE farming, you know, killing murlocs and shit and doing stuff, and I was exposed to my first instance of guild drama, and it was between the guild master, some other dudes, and his girlfriend or some shit, right? And, you know, it wasn't really my business, because I didn't really know them too well, but I decided to take the side of the guy, not the guildmaster and his girlfriend. Because I don't remember what the drama was, but I know he was fucking right. This dude was fucking beta-orbiting his girlfriend for, you know, that was in the guild or whatever, and what happened was I got guild kicked, he got guild kicked, and I'm like, what the fuck is this shit? I played on this... Like, I played on the specific realm. It was a low population realm. I'm playing Alliance, right? And, I'm just like, I'm torn apart because rejection at the time being, you know, blue-pilled is very rough and very emotionally traumatizing, especially for my age, because I don't really have friends. I mean, I have acquaintances, and, you know, my coworkers don't really play, and they're just kind of normies. You know, they're like the beer-chugging normies that go out to bars and party and have sex and do drugs and call in for work and shit. And I just wasn't that kind of person, and just... It made me really depressed. I mean, I was already fucking depressed. Like the only reason I even kept going, like, after being expelled at school was I just wanted to see what life was like if I worked a normal fucking job instead of sold stuff on the internet, you know? And it turned out it was pretty cool, but I'll talk about work another time because it turned out not to be so cool later on. I mean, it did and it didn't, but again, that's another video. This one's about Vanilla WoW. And I said I was going to cut this at 10 minutes, but I think I'll keep trying. I'll keep going. Alright. So, anyway, I'm guildless. I don't have any friends on this server, and You know, I'm a pretty big internet troll, so I was talking shit on the Realm forums a lot, and a lot of Horde characters were out killing me. Someone even made a video as a rogue where they ganked me by clicking their skills, and I was big on not clicking skills. I would make fun of anyone that would click their skills. And of course, this rogue kills me because he's like super fucking geared, and I start falling behind on levels because I'm not playing as much, because I do have to, you know, I work part-time at a retail establishment. And it just sucks. I don't have anyone to play with. I'm not even questing anymore. I'm so depressed. I'm just killing mobs and fishing and shit posting in general chat, town chat, trade chat, whatever chat I can. I don't even know, man. Like, I get really upset, right? And then it dawned on me, hey, what if I did something that I was kind of big for in Diablo 2? And so in Diablo 2 there was a term called low-level dueling, where you would make like a level like 12 character or something, and you would kill other level 12 characters with the best possible level 12 character gear. Well, in the MMORPG world, this was called twinking, and so I made a level 30 rogue also on Alliance, using my mage to farm all the golden items for it, right? And I made a really sweet fucking epic PvP video, because I had about 5 years of video editing experience at the time, since it's what I majored in when I went to school. And I say majored like it's a college thing, but it was more of a high school thing, middle school, high school thing, right? So I made this really epic fucking PvP video, and at the time there was no YouTube. I would just upload videos to my webpage that I was given by my ISP, and later on I would upload the video to Google Videos, and even further later on I would host it on a website called warcraftmovies.com, and it happened to be like #1 most fucking viewed, and #1 like what's trending, what's hot, what's everything, and I got all these fucking positive comments and hateful comments. A lot of people hated twinks, believe it or not.
My money is gone.
And I was like, wow, this is really fucking cool, right? And then the webmaster was like, hey bro, you know, your video's blowing up. Here's some premium access to the site, which costs like $20 or something, and hey, so you're generating a lot of ad revenue. I'm gonna mail you a fucking check. And so I was getting paid to make these cool ass videos and shit. So I kept going. I made tutorial videos, I made how-to videos, and at some point, some people reached out to me that knew me from Diablo 2, and they're like, hey man, we're on the Horde side on this server, and they were big PvPers in Diablo 2. They were like one of my favorite PvPers. And they played on Tichondrius and Blackrock. They had characters on both, and I rolled with them, and I rolled an undead rogue. Holy fucking shit, because rogues look fun as fuck, and they look like the best ganker murderer class. And I had so much fun on my level 30 rogue twink. Now, the reason I had a level 30 twink was back in the day, battlegrounds were not 1 to 19, 20 to 29, 30 to 39. No, they were like a level 11 to 20, 21 to 30, 31 to 40. Okay, so what that meant was, if you were level 40 and you queued up for a battleground, you got to play with people under level 40 who did not have a mount, and you did. This was obviously fixed later on, of course. But at the time, I made a level 30 twink, and I would run around Hillsbrad, and I'd run around Aerith Highlands, and just gank and kill everybody. And yeah, I made sweet, PvP montages. So after all that, I played with these guys for a little while on the Horde side, and they were okay, but a lot of them, they quit. They had normie jobs, they got married, they had kids. A guild drama thing happened, and I was again removed, so it kind of sucked. I wasn't a very social person, so I'm getting distracted by the gameplay here. I miss getting drops like this. Anyway, it's really stupid for grinding your games to patch fucking fun stuff in their game just because people might be getting rich off of it. Because this took a long time to set up. It really did. So anyway, I get guild kicked over some guild drama that I didn't cause. It's usually has to do with the girls, like the girlfriends of the guild master, some bullshit like that. And you know, like, people would randomly hate me for things too. I'm not, I don't know, I'm just a spurred. People just hate me for no fucking reason. I can join a brand new Discord. Like this morning, I joined a VG Discord and like 10 people are just fucking mad, talking shit to me, and I'm just like, hey, I just want to play the game. I just want people to play the game with, come on, man. And they're like, you're fat, you're a virgin, blah, 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 blah. Right? I mean, it's all beta blue-pilled stuff anyway. So anyway, we're still talking about vanilla and how beta blue-pilled whatever I was. So I'm playing Tichondrius, and I realized that, like, it's really hard to get into groups, and since I can't raid, because I don't have a guild, and no one wants me in their guild, because I don't want to apply on their fucking dumb shit website, that I'm just gonna, you know, like, do Battlegrounds and do PvP and get the PvP rewards, right? And which is what I was doing in the first place. I spent my entire time on this road, just running around, ganking, murdering. I would queue up for every Battleground, and when it would pop, I would play it. And on Tichondrius, Horde won every Battleground. It was a, like, 99% win rate. It was a steamroll every single fucking time. So, I did that for a very long time. I found myself at rank 10. And I met yet another connection I had from Diablo 2. And this guy was one of the most toxic. I'm gonna use the word toxic here. This guy was extremely, like, aggressive, right? On Diablo 2. He was from Serbia, and this dude was fucking awesome, right? Me and him went way fucking back on Diablo 2. We would, like, share accounts. We were so fucking close. And, you know, he's doing the rank 14 grinding. He's got all these fucking friends that are doing it, too. And I'm like, fuck yeah, man, count me in. Let me get that sweet-ass gear, bro. And, so I roll with them for about a month. And I'm up to, like, rank 12 or 13. And they're like, okay, man, so we need to get you to rank 14. Here's what you're going to do. And they gave me an AFK... It's like a semi-AFK auto-follow, auto-attack bot for Alterac Valley. Because I had to work a job, there was no real way for me to get rank 14 without it. So they had me run this bot. And I ran this bot while queuing up with them. And they pretty much carried me for one more month to rank 14. So I was now a High Warlord Rogue, and I had all the best PvP gear. But at this time, I was really sick of Battlegrounds, and I was, you know, I still ganked and murdered people everywhere I went. Red equals dead every single time, right? And so I decided I want to see the rest of the game. I want to get some cool looking stuff. At the time, Blackwing Lair was a thing. That was like the most advanced dungeon that was out. And so I love this character. This character's so damn tanky. That would kill most players. But this build is so fucking beastly. It automatically heals. It has super fast travel time. It does 3 to 5 million damage a second. All elemental. No physical, so you won't get Fizz Reflect. It's great. Anyway. So what was I talking about? Yeah, rank 14. So I wanted to start doing dungeons. So with my rank 14 set, I was finally allowed to do Upper Blackrock Spire runs with some of the guilds. And they noticed that I could really pump out the DPS. I always showed up on time to their little fucking raids, and eventually they let me start raiding with them. However, because I refused to apply on the website, and other people had something called DKP, which lets them pretty much get dibs on gear, I was just working for them for free. And I was like, hey, let me get in on this drop. Nobody needs it, right? And they're like, nah, you have rank 14, bro. And they would take the drops, and then they would disenchant it. Like, motherfucker, I will pay you double of what you disenchanted that for, if you would just let me fucking have it, right? And, so they had this idea that they would just charge me for gear. So I did that for a while, because I didn't have, like, anywhere else to turn to. I didn't have anywhere else to go. I didn't really know how to socialize or stand up for myself or anything, right? So not only did I raid with them and deal, like, top DPS, but I was also paying them for drops. And, you know, I realized later it's probably, you know, probably got scammed, ripped off, probably got fucking, you know, it's beta as fuck, but whatever, man. I was just a depressed fucking young adult who had to work a shitty job. And, It was better than nothing. I wasn't spending the money anyway. I'm super minimalist in my real life and in game. I don't really spend my money on things. I can never fathom how people don't have money for mounts when they hit 40, because I have way too much money. Every single character I make, even if I skip looting mobs and shit most of the time, I still have more than enough for a fucking mount. I don't get it. But anyway, so I'm paying these dudes for gear, and then, you know, oh, what else? At some point, you know, I'm like, hey, it makes more sense because there's people that are doing something similar out in the public chats where they're doing it for gold, right? So I decided to RMT a bunch of gold, not for my own RMT. I haven't mentioned it, but I started an RMT business at some point in WoW. Where I was selling gold, and essentially I wasn't really farming the gold, I was paying Chinese farmers to farm the gold for me, and then reselling the gold that I bought from them for more. And it was pretty damn lucrative, right? Sorry, I got lots of heartburn. Pretty damn lucrative. I would farm... I would also farm gold, and I learned some really cool things from them, some really neat tricks that I've never seen in any YouTube videos to this day. I've never seen any videos on Warcraft movies to this day. There are some really game-breaking exploits, and I doubt... There's one of them that I know will not work when Classic hits, and that is you would modify your MPQ files so that you are underwater. And as an undead rogue, you can breathe for a very long time underwater, right? And you would load up this dungeon, your character would be underwater, and you would swim up to the spot that you're going to farm it, camp to, you know, get Oharth out of there, go back in, do that 5 times an hour, and it was really good money, right? Really fucking good money, and to my knowledge, they never patched it. It's kind of the same exploit that you saw people going underneath Warsong Gulch to run the flag, like on a secret hacked highway. It's just basic MPQ editing. I got it from the Chinese farmers. Oh, it was so goddamn lucrative, man. I was making so much money. So I got fully kitted out with Tier 2, Perdition's Blade and Corehound Tooth. I tried to get a Fell Striker, which is for the UBRS. It's a 1% drop, and it's a dagger. When it procs, you never miss an attack, and all attacks crit for like 5 seconds. It's so good. Never got it, though. Never dropped. Not even once. I've never even seen it drop. I've only seen like 2 people ever that actually had it. And they were like hunters and a warrior. Like, what the fuck, bro? Alright, so... yeah, this build was expensive as fuck, man. I had to no-life this shit for like 2 months to be able to make this character. Something like 20 plus exalts. Which I know it doesn't sound like a lot for Path of Exile players, but for me, I don't have premium stash tabs, so I can't even really trade with people. It was all manually farmed and, you know, just like selling alteration orbs to get the chaos orbs to get the exalts. It's really painful. Anyway, back to Vanilla WoW. So I was making all this gold. I was buying and selling all this gold. I had it made. My rogue was fully pimped out. I was camping people. People started getting pissed off in the realm forums. It got to the point where I had so much fucking money that I started to control the marketplace. I would buy out like all of the copper ore and relist it at 4 times the amount, and then people would notice that I'm buying everything, and then they would start listing their copper, and then I would buy their copper and relist it, and then anyone that wanted copper had to pay my fees, and I was making mad bank. I would literally log in for like 10 hours a fucking day just to do auction house stuff. Since I was done raiding, I mean, AQ had come out at the time, and I didn't give a shit. I didn't give a fuck. Like, I had a shitty computer, and the staff opening was not fun. I kept getting crashed to the character select screen, and I didn't really give a shit or know any guilds. I mean, yeah, I was paying a guild for gear, essentially, but that was pretty much it. And I just kind of fucked around and ganked people, right? Now, at one point in Vanilla, I did get banned. I got banned for the RMT that I did, possibly for the exploit in the dungeon with the MPQ editing. But I did learn other dungeon exploits which wouldn't be bannable, like mob pathing errors and such things like that. But ultimately, I could farm about 150 gold to 220 gold an hour, depending on RNG, with tier 2 and a Perdition's Blade and Core Houndtooth. Now, I've tried it with shittier gear, and it's not doable without a partner, but when you have a partner, you have to split the profits, so you might as well just not do it. It's kind of like how hunters farm Maradon, right? With, you know, they kill princes and stuff, except I'm more so glitching a boss where it can't attack me, but it's still slowly dying to poisons and bleed, and disenchanting its drops for large brilliant shards, which were always a big moneymaker. And I controlled that commodity anyway, so... Anyway, that account got banned, and then I really didn't touch Vanilla much after that. I did come back like 3 or 4 months before TBC was announced. So what I did was I paid an American power leveling service like $750 to get me a level 60 rogue, undead rogue, on Tichondrius, with maxed out first aid, maxed out enchanting. In maxed out engineering. I also want to maxed out enchanting, but they wouldn't fucking do it. So I settled for maxed out mining, which I then turned into fucking enchanting later. And 1,000 gold and an epic riding mount. So I pretty much paid $750 for a character that wasn't a fucking high warlord or anything like that, which kind of sucks. But that's okay, because in TBC I got Gladiator anyway, and that made up for it. And it's not like the rank 14 gear really mattered anyway when people were pretty much just pugging and like they would just fucking blow Onyxia up with max gear. It was so simple. And there was pugs just round the clock, just, hey, public Onyxia run, all gear is, you know, obtainable, whatever. And I'd be like one of the only other fucking rogues in the group, so I would get all the rogue shit. It was really nice. I feel like shit for having to pay so damn much for all the gear that I was not social enough to get. So for me, Vanilla was kind of lonely and miserable, and I didn't really have like a group of people to play with. I can go over TBC and Wrath of the Lich King, where I did meet a few people, and things got pretty cool. And I know it seems like kind of weird for me to complain that I didn't have people when I did have people from Diablo that were willing to help me out and get rank 14. But it wasn't really a pleasant experience at all. It wasn't like they didn't do it because I was their friend. They did it because they wanted a fucking personal army of rank 14s to do shit for them. Which I would oblige. I really liked World PvP. But it wasn't a social thing. Like, there wasn't a sense of tribesmanship. There wasn't a sense of bond or friendship or fellowship. It was like they were machines, soulless NPCs that their job was just to do this one task in this one video game for no purpose, really. It was really stupid and weird and fake, and it didn't feel genuine. But I did learn in Wrath of the Lich King that I got sick of getting kicked from guilds and shit and stuff, so I just became a guild master. And I can talk about that in another video. It's not really something I'd talk about right now. But I did do a lot of other things in Vanilla, too. I didn't just play a rogue and a mage. I played everything at some point, up to 60, except for a hunter. I never played hunter. The only time I ever really played hunter was in TBC. At some point, the people that got to go to tournaments, which I was part of because I was doing the whole gladiator thing with some people, got to go onto a tournament realm where you had pre-made characters that you could fuck around on and play with, right? And I fucked around on a hunter for a while, and that was really the only time I ever honestly played a hunter. But besides like ganking people round the clock, camping Red Ridge, camping, you know, low-level quest zones, I did do a lot of power leveling for people. I was inspired by a player named Wow Hobbs, who was just a fucking dorky-ass dad gamer paladin that would run people through like Scarlet Monastery all the time on his paladin. I was like, I want to fucking do that. So at some point in my vanilla career also, my job required me to work nights, which was like 10 p.m. to 6 a.m., which means I could no longer raid, but I didn't really need to anyway because I already had the gear I wanted. But I still wanted to, like, I don't know, play with something. So I rolled a dwarf paladin on an oceanic realm called Bartholus, I played there for a while until I got off of working nights, which was only for like 6 months. I think, yeah, it was just 6 months that I worked nights. And fucking Australians are based as hell, man. I loved playing with Australians. They were fucking cool. And because I was not Australian, I was cool to them, you know? They're like, "Oi, mate, let's get that fucking," you know, what nationality I was in there. I'm not telling you where I'm from. I like people guessing. Right now, people think I'm Canadian, American, or British. Obviously, I don't sound British or American, but it's, you know, maybe one day I'll reveal. One day when I don't live in a van. The most fun that I've had was playing the rogue and ganking people, and that was awesome. Other than that, tanking dungeons was, as far as actual gameplay goes, I'm gonna say that being a tank for dungeons was the most involved, because you're always hitting something, you're always doing something, you're always looking at something, you're always retargeting and doing something else, right? Whereas when you're the damage dealer, you're just kind of sitting back, shooting, attacking the same mob, hitting the same buttons. It's kind of slow. When you're the healer, you're just healing the same people, and it sucks. Oh, another fucking vanilla story. I rolled a priest, like an undead priest, female, and I played on a server. It was like a roleplay PvP server, and I pretended to be a girl gamer, right? Like a legit grill gamo. And I joined an all-girls guild, and I used a little voice changer, and I got into their team speak and blah blah blah. And I was one of the main healers for the guild, and I you know, I was invited to raids and stuff. And these this guild had no raid progression. They couldn't even do a Nixia. Like, they had to have help from other guilds to get shit done. It was so fucked. Like, the DPS died or went AFK. It was the worst guild I've ever been in. And funny enough, I wanted to get out and go to an actual guild. Since I was a healer, I could get shit done. So instead of like telling them I was a dude and G quitting, I decided that, you know, I was like being abused or something. Like, I made up this fucking dramatic story, and you know, pretended to do a suicide in guild chat, and then I made my character go AFK, and all the guild members would come to the end and look at my character and sit around, and they're like, "Oh my god!" And there's chit chatting in guild about, you know, "Oh, what have we done? Oh my god, how can this be?" You know, blah blah blah, right? Because they, like, it was really convincing, and they totally bought it. But what I didn't expect was, they of course submitted a GM ticket. The GM looks at your account info and pretty much calls the cops to go check on you in real life. So like the next day, I get woke up, and I lived in a trailer park at the time with my parents. And mind you, I'm a fucking adult, right? And so there's like 5 cops that bang on the door. And like a couple towns over, there was a murder in some other trailer park. So these cops were like super roided out, on edge. They were like trigger happy motherfuckers, right? They were pumped as fuck. So, you know, it's a really cold day out, and they knock on the door and they ask for my character name, because I didn't use my real life name on my account info, but I used my address for some stupid fucking reason. And I'm like, huh, what? What's going on? Like, is this a prank? Is someone pranking me? Did someone, like, SWAT me, bro? And they're, like, yelling at me that it's not funny, it's not a joke. And it's really cold, so I, like, put my hands in my pocket. And they fucking draw their guns, and they start yelling at me and shit to, like, get my hands out of my pockets. So I'm like, I'm sorry, oh my god, right? But, you know, I just keep playing stupid with them. I'm like, I don't know what's going on. They're like, well, there apparently was a suicide here, blah, blah, blah. And they, like, grab my wrists and make sure there's no cuts on them, and they check my neck for rope markings and stuff, and it was really freaky. And when they realized there was no suicide and that I wasn't suicidal or anything like that, or at least nothing was showing that I was, they were like, this isn't funny, don't do this again, blah, 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 and then they left. Oh, and they also made sure to tell me that they were on edge because there was, like, a shooting at some other trailer park, like I had mentioned before. So yeah, fun times. Don't fake your death in guild chat, boys. And if you do, make sure that Blizzard doesn't have your account info, because you'll basically get swatted if you do. But that wasn't the swatting that happened for me to change to this name. That was way back in the day in World of Warcraft. That was just some fucking stupid and silly, right? So yeah, good times. Not really, but yeah, I did end up selling most of my characters. In the end of World of Warcraft, I quit around mid-Cataclysm. At the time, I ran a massive Zerg guild with, like, it was member capped at 1,000. Before Cataclysm, if you had a bigger guild than 1,000, you were totally allowed to do that. But in Cataclysm, they capped it at 1,000 for some reason. I guess because they were downgrading their servers. I'm not really sure. But I would G-kick anyone that hadn't logged in for 3 days and who wasn't like above level 40 or something. So yeah, there would be like 300 to 400 people on at any given time out of 1,000. It was really super active. And in Cataclysm, you could tax your members, so every time they looted like silver from a mob, you would get a cut from it sent to the guild bank. So imagine that. You have a maxed out guild, all killing and looting and questing, and you're getting a big cut of it. And in the end-user license agreement, guild masters were the sole owners of everything in the guild bank and the guild itself. So because it was a Zerg guild, no one really gave a shit, but I did end up taking most of the things out of the guild bank, stashing them in my own guild banks, because I had 7 bank alts, and they all had guilds that were maxed out with space, and it was all filled up with stuff. So the plan is, when I resub to Classic, is there's a lot of things that don't exist in the game anymore, and I have a massive stockpile of them on my characters. I'm just going to auction house them for millions of gold and then buy the WoW tokens to pay for these subscriptions. And I would also, if you've been listening so far, please let me know in the comments, because I'm going to be fucking loaded. I'm going to have so many, I'm going to be able to afford so many WoW tokens that I'm probably going to quit WoW long before I run out. So I want to extend this offer to anyone who's still here and listen to this whole fucking thing, that if we become bros, dude, I will fucking pay for your WoW subscription, bro. Like, if the WoW tokens are a thing, and I have tons of them, thanks to all the fucking elite shit that I had on actual retail World of Warcraft, that I'm going to be giving tokens to all the closest bros, so that we can bro it up, and we don't have to deal with girl gamers ruining our guild experiences. We don't have to worry about getting guild kicked. We don't have to worry about being betas and paying people real money or gold for gear that we worked hard to help the raid achieve. And I know I don't really have that many subscribers right now, and I know most people probably wouldn't listen to a 45-minute, 30-second video. But if you did, and if you want to play WoW Classic with me, I would be more than happy to use my WoW tokens on you so that you can use your real-life money for things that matter, like investing in a 401k and a Roth IRA, and into index funds, so that you don't have to wage cut. Because as for me, like, I'm currently a NEET with no job, and I don't get NEET bucks. I do not get any government benefits at all. But because I'm such a minimalist in life, I was able to save up enough money that I can afford about 8 years before I run out of money. So yeah. Otherwise, I guess I can maybe use the WoW tokens to buy gear in Classic. I don't really know how that's going to work. But I really, the whole point of this channel, the whole point of everything I do isn't to be some sort of content creator on YouTube that plays the algorithm like all those other really cringy assholes, like Kargos, Frostamus, Tips Out, the Max something blah 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 show. I don't even fucking know their names. Asmongold, you know, they're all just content creators that are gaming the YouTube algorithm so that they can get as many clicks as possible, and that's not human to me. That's not what YouTube is supposed to be about. It's supposed to be about camaraderie and friendship and making bros. My whole wish with this is I just want bros to play games with. I would just it would be so fucking cool for me to be able to log into Rust and be able to just play with like 8 to 10 dudes and get shit done, and it would be so fun to just run people over in a game with a bunch of other dudes at my back. You know, and I would have y'all's back. Like, I'm at the point where I'm going to get bored of ganking and killing people, then I'm going to just roll a tank and be a main tank or a healer or something. You know, just something so that I can benefit in a group setting. That's really all I got. I mean, like, a part of me feels like I'm stuck in some sort of weird purgatory because I've come so close to death so many times that I could actually be dead, and this is just some weird dying death dream or the afterlife, and I'm in some sort of like boring hell. I don't really know, to be honest. It's kind of what it. You know, it just I don't fucking know, man. But I would, you know, like as a kid, you know, like I had a few acquaintances and they'd come over and we play like Mario Party or Smash Bros or something, and as an adult, that's like impossible. There's like nothing I can do except I mean, you can't even technically pay prostitutes to play video games with you. That one guy, that Ice Poseidon guy, tried that. He tried to invite actual prostitutes to his apartment to play video games, and they just took his money and left. Like, they were mad that he wasn't gonna fuck them or something. It was really cringe. But like it's like, how come I don't get to play video games with people anymore? Every time I play a game that's some sort of versus mode, like say Dead by Daylight, you have like the killer and 4 survivors. Well, the majority of times in games, the survivors will have friends. They queue up with friends that they're playing with more often than not. And I'm like, what the fuck is this? And I go out in public and I see people in groups. It's because they're all friends, and I just don't fucking understand it. Like, a while back on 4chan, I took a personality test that someone linked, and it pretty much showed that I'm incapable of friendship. And I don't really understand why, because I'm very hardworking and willing to work to bring benefit to other people. Like, if I'm in a group setting and you're not immediately attacking me over dumb shit and being a blue-pilled beta, then I will absolutely give value to you as much as I can. Like, full altruism, you know, not autism, but altruism, you know, the act of helping others. And I really just don't understand, like, maybe, I don't, like, it doesn't matter where I go or what community I post in, it's just hatred. It's like I'm cursed. And to be honest, I kind of felt that way during my incel years, where I was like, oh, I'm cursed, no one will ever love me, I will never get a GF. But then I red-pilled up and I learned that I wasn't desirable at all. But in my eyes, as far as friendship goes, I don't know what would make me not desirable. I'm good at the games, I can play all the time, I can give support, you know, I can give people stuff in the game, I can tank, DPS, heal, whatever the fuck they need. I can do all that stuff, and you know, I'm a chill dude, chill gamer. Fucking, I can't give you real life money, but is that what it's gonna take? I'm gonna have to make a fucking website, or like Fiverr, but for video games, where you'd pay other people to be your fucking friend. But even then, that's not real friendship. That's bullshit friendship. That's fake. That's not real. And it's like all those buddies that fucking Mr. Beast has, that I mean, like, yeah, he's got his core friends, and that's so fucking cool, dude. I would kill for a core fucking friendship group, right? Like, is that what I'm gonna have to do? Do I have to go to prison so I can get a bunch of fucking prison bros and be prison bros with them? Where we all have each other's back and it's like a fucking adventure? Is that it? Because, like, what the fuck? What am I supposed to do? Like, throughout all my years of wage cucking, you know, I've met several different people, and yeah, you know, people have similar interests, but they don't, I don't know, they don't seek a friendship, and I do, but it's pretty obvious that, you know, they don't really give a shit about it, and so I'm not going to force it on them. I guess I've kind of trailed off from Vanilla Classic WoW, but it's still the same theme. I've always had difficulty making friends, and I'm very envious of people that can, like, be in a big fucking guild where they all know each other and they're all fucking chill gamers and they're all fucking badass to each other, and they get shit done, and that is just so cool. And I just want that more than anything. That, like, before I die, I just want to be in a fucking successful guild where everyone's chill and knows each other. You know, they don't have to know me on a real life personal level. Just on an in-game level, like, hey, there's that SwoleBenji rogue. Hey, bro, how's ganking and Redridge going? I'm like, hey, man, what's up? You want me to come guard you while you farm Grom's blood or something? I'll fucking be your bodyguard for like 16 hours. I'll follow you around in stealth and kill anyone that gets nearby. You know, like, cause fuck it, why not, bro? Anyway, that pretty much wraps up this video. I will see you guys next time. Hit the bell if you want to see more, and subscribe because YouTube is making me see that now. See you, bye.